Hey, what's up, guys? I got this check in recently, so I wanted to share that with you. Um, this deal actually took us a little longer than usual. Um, we filed this case back in May of this year, and now we're in December, right? So let's say we got May, June, July, August, September, October, November. So about 7 months it took us to get this deal paid out. Why did it take us so long to get the money? Coronavirus. COVID-19 has delayed some courts, and that's what happened in this case. Is we submitted the case. Shortly thereafter, the court shut down. They were no longer moving forward with their civil cases. They put everything on hold for a while, weren't having hearings, and that's why it took so long. And that's one of the tough parts about this business, right? Is you never really know when that check is going to come. You're just at the mercy of the court or the county, the state, whoever it is that's holding the funds and whoever it is that holds the check. They work on their timeline. And unfortunately, their timeline is not very fast. And especially with coronavirus and some of the shutdowns, we've seen delays. However, at least things are still progressing and moving forward. Just because a court got shut down doesn't mean they weren't taking new cases. We could still file cases, we could still file claims, but they just weren't paying out as quickly as they have in the past. And that's okay. You just roll with it, you make adjustments where you need to, and you keep moving forward. And the good thing about it is you can still fill your pipeline, submit claims, and still get good paydays. Sometimes there will be months, especially when you're just starting out, where you may not see a check come in the mail, but then the next month you may have 2, 3, 4 checks come in the mail. And I've experienced that several times. So key takeaway is, just because the world supposedly stops, that doesn't mean that you stop. You should still be working the business, reaching out to people, filling your pipeline with cases, and submitting those cases to whatever entity you need to submit them to. Because eventually they're going to pay out. The worst thing to do is to build up some momentum, get a couple checks, and then stop. And that's something that happens, and that's a mistake that I've made in the past. Is I've done all this hard work, submitted some cases, got some checks, and then I stop for a minute. And that's the worst thing you can do, because it kills your momentum. And then you have to restart over and over, where ideally you should put in a lot of work in the beginning. As you rise up, get your first checks, continue to do the work, but it's not going to be as much than if you get your check and then stop completely, because then you have to restart again. And when you restart over and over, it takes a lot of energy out of you. So that's another takeaway, is once you get that first success, don't stop. Keep moving forward. Keep building on that momentum you have created, so that you don't have to restart over and over again. Hopefully that makes sense. Another takeaway I'd suggest is, I show you these checks not to brag, but to help you realize this business still works. Even despite coronavirus, we're still doing business. Even despite shutdowns, we're still doing business. We're still helping these homeowners. Now more than ever, these homeowners need their money back, right? Because of what's going on in the economy, because of the hardships that have been brought about because of this pandemic. And this is just my personal opinion, but I think we're only experiencing the tip of the iceberg right now. I do believe that there is a wave forming, and that we are going to continue to see hardship all throughout 2021 and maybe even throughout 2022. Because we're starting to see the effects of some of the shutdowns and, people losing jobs, people losing businesses, people going into forbearance on their mortgages, and stopping their mortgage payments for a time. And when those forbearances come to an end, a lot of people aren't going to be able to make up those payments that they missed. And a lot of foreclosures are going to happen because of that. And so now more than ever, it's more important to help those people that do end up losing a house, and getting that money back to them as quickly as possible, and not letting the government sit on it and earn interest on other people's money that need it. That's why this business is so important, is because, one, it provides a true service to people and it helps people. I do not believe it is right that the government earns money just by holding it in an account for someone else. And that's what's happening. Millions and millions of dollars. I know just one state, has over $200 million in their account just from foreclosures. $200 million, and they earn interest on that money, and they keep that interest. How hard do you think the government is trying to find the people that are owed that money? Is it in the government's best interest to find these homeowners and let them know, hey, this money is being held by our office, you need to make a claim for it? How hard do you think the government is trying to find these people? And is it in their best interest to do so? And so that's why it is so important to learn the skills of this business so that you can help these people. And if you better your life in the process of serving others, what's wrong with that? In my mind, that's a win-win. You help someone by giving them money they didn't know was owed to them. You take a small percentage, better your own life. That's a win-win, man. That is a win-win. And at the end of the day, when you have that ability, when you have those skills to serve others and help them, you can write your ticket in life. And you can develop a business that is meaningful, impactful, provides a true service, and that pays pretty good, pays pretty well. At least in my situation, it pays a lot better than $16 an hour, and at least I don't have to work 12-hour graveyard shifts at the prison. So anyway, guys, that's all I got to say with you. The business still works. Now is a great time to get involved. Yesterday was a better time, but yesterday's gone, so we don't worry about yesterday. Today's a new day. If you want to get involved, you can hit me up, nick@overagesyndicate.com, or you can go to school.overagecourse.com. And that's it. Thanks, guys.